everyone. Last class we discussed about cell chapter. Yes, and we completed that chapter. So today we move to the second chapter, tissues. Okay, the second chapter name is tissues. Okay, so in this chapter we discuss about tissues. So what do you mean by tissues? First of all, we want to know about that. What do you mean by tissues? Last class we discussed cell, the fundamental unit called cell, or the basic structure of a living organism called cell, a minute structure. And the components, what are the components present inside the cell? Yes. So we discussed in last class, cell is the fundamental unit of life or the basic structure of life. So the cells join together to form or a cluster of cells or a group of cells called tissues. Okay, a group of cells called tissues. A group of cells or a cluster of cells called tissues. But in these tissues, they are similar in structure. Okay, similar in structure and work together to achieve a particular function. Okay, so cells, which means the fundamental unit of life or the basic unit. When we peel our cells or the skin, we can see the basic structure is called cell. Cells join together to form what? Tissues. So the cluster of cells or a group of cells are called tissues. Okay, but tissues, which means they are similar in structure. When we take a tissues, they are similar in structure. Okay, and work together to perform a particular function. Okay, so tissues are similar in structure, and work together to perform a particular function. Okay, these are the peculiar features of tissues. So tissues which means a group or a cluster of cells are called tissues. Okay, and the tissues have some particular features or characteristics, which means yes, all the tissues are same in structure. Okay, and work together to perform a particular function. You may think that in our body all the tissues are same in structure and function. Is it correct? No. Why? We know, for example, we can take lungs tissue and heart tissue. Both are different in structure and function. Why? We know the lungs, the main function of lungs, which means, what's the function of lungs? Which helps to breathe. Yes, main function is breathing, which helps to breathing or absorb oxygen and what? Release carbon dioxide. Yes. And what is the function of heart? Heart, which helps to pump the blood. Yes. So these two organs are shown different functions. Yes. Okay, so these two organs also consist of made up of different types of tissues. Okay, you get what I said? Okay, So which means the cells is the basic function or the fundamental unit of life or the basic structure. So this cells join together to form, or a group of cells are called tissues. Okay, the tissues similar in structure, and this tissues work is together to perform a particular function. So this same kind of tissues are joined together to form different organs. Okay, so each and every part of our tissue may different according to their function. Okay, according to their function, tissue may be different. Okay, so when we take our take different organs, what? Yes, each and every organ tissues are different because according to their function. Okay, their function, because their structure also different. Okay, so we explain the definition of tissues. So one more time, a group of cells that are similar in structure and work together to achieve a particular function forms a tissue. Okay, I think you got this term, tissues. Yes. So the next question is, are plant tissues and animal tissues are different? Do you know that? Is there any differences there? Yes, it will be different, because we know when we learn about the cell structure also different in the case of animal and plant. Yes, so the tissues also different. The tissues are different in the case of animals and plants. Okay, so first we learn about plant tissue. Okay, let's move to the plant tissue. In plants, we know plants have two types of tissue. The first one is meristematic tissue and the second one is permanent tissue. Okay, first one meristematic tissue and the second one permanent tissue. Meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Okay, these are the two types of plant tissue. So plant tissues are classified into two main types. The first one is meristematic tissue and the second one is permanent tissue. So first we learn about this meristematic tissue. So let's learn about meristematic tissue. For example, in your garden, if you cut any plant or shade that plant, and after few weeks when you observe again or you go to garden, what happened? Yes, that plant retain or regain the structure. Yes. And another example, when you cut some grass of that place, and after few months, what happened? That grass will regain the structure, and then the leaves and all the things are emerged. Yes. How it happens? What are the theorem behind that? So because of the presence of this meristematic tissue, the plants can regain their structure. Okay, meristematic, which means the dividing cells. Okay, this meristematic tissues have dividing capacity. At any time they can divide and differentiate different parts. Okay, differentiate, which means, yes, that cells divide and form in the form of tissues and a group of cells that we can call tissues, and that tissues shows a differentiate It may be a leaf, maybe a stem, maybe a root part, like that. Okay, differentiate into different parts of that particular plant. Okay, so it means meristematic tissues are known as, or it is a dividing cells or dividing tissues. Okay, because of the presence of this meristematic tissues, plants can regain their structure. When we cut the plant leaf or stem or any part of the plant, what happen? Again, few months or few days, it can regain their structure because of the presence of this dividing cells. These dividing cells are called meristematic tissue. Plants also regain their structure, but it is different. Okay, how this meristematic tissue are present in their plant body? We can see each and every part of plant body is made up of meristematic tissue? No. So let's discuss where we can see this meristematic tissue. Okay, imagine this is the stem. Okay, so the meristematic tissues are classified into three types. The first one is apical meristem, lateral meristem, and intercalary meristem. Okay, these are the three types of meristem. The first one is apical meristem, lateral meristem, and intercalary meristem. Okay, plant tissue classified into two types, meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Okay, permanent tissue we will discuss our later class. Okay, so today we discuss about the meristematic tissue. Meristematic tissue, which means dividing cells or dividing tissues. So these meristematic tissues are classified again into three: apical meristem, lateral meristem, and intercalary meristem. So apical meristem, let's move to the first one, apical meristem. Apical meristem, which means the apex of the stem or the top of the stem, we can see a meristem. Meristematic tissues are present in this region. Okay, in this region meristematic tissues are present. So this meristematic tissues are called apical meristem. Okay, apical meristem, not apical tissue, it is apical meristem. Meristem, which means dividing cells. So the first one is apical meristem is present at the tip of the stem. Okay, and the next we move to the lateral meristem. Lateral meristem. Lateral meristem is present in this portion. The side of this stem, we can see the lateral meristem. Okay, lateral meristem. So first one is apical meristem. Apical meristem is present at the apex of the stem, and the lateral meristem we can see the sides of the stem. And the third one is intercalary meristem. Intercalary meristems are present at the internodes. Okay, internodes we can see the intercalary meristem. So intercalary meristem. Okay, so now we discuss the position of the meristem. Yes, so according to the position of this meristematic cells classified into three types according to the position. Okay, so that's why this meristems are termed as according to the position name. Okay, so here apical meristem. So here you want to think about that what the meristematic tissues are classified on the basis of position. Okay, so position we can classify it into three main meristems. The first one is apical meristem is present at the apex of the stem or the top of the stem, and the second one is lateral meristem is present in the lateral side. Okay, lateral side or the sides we can see the lateral meristem. And the third one is intercalary meristem, which present in the internode section, in between the stem and another branches and the stem we can see the intercalary meristem. These are the three types of meristems. Next we move to the function of this, or how this meristems helps in stem. Okay, so let's discuss about the apical meristem, intercalary meristem and lateral meristem position and function. Okay, so we know the apical meristem is present growing tip of the stem and a root. Okay, not only stem. For example, I draw that stem picture. The same as this act also in the case of roots. Okay, so the growing tips of stems and roots. Okay, this present at the growing tip of the stem and root, and it helps to increase the length of the stem and root. Okay, it helps to increase the length, which means height, length of the stem and root. Okay, and the next one is lateral meristem, and the second one is lateral meristem. Lateral meristems helps to increase the girth of the stem and root. Okay, girth. Okay, girth of the stem and root. And this lateral meristem also called cambium. Okay, so cambium you can learn in your future classes. Last one is intercalary meristem. Okay, intercalary meristem. In this, it is present at the base of the leaves or internodes on twigs. Okay, this intercalary meristem is present at the base of the leaves or internodes on twigs. Okay, which helps to what? Yes, which helps to increase the length and girth of the leaves and twigs. These are the main points according to apical meristem. So for example, take a stem or a small stem, herbaceous stem, and cut into small pieces and observe under microscope. How will you recognize this meristematic tissue and permanent tissue? So meristematic tissue have their own characteristics. Okay, so just learn about the meristematic basic structure. How will you identify this? Okay, meristematic tissues are active cells. Okay, active cells. Okay, and it's comparatively large in size. Okay, and meristematic tissues have dense cytoplasm. Okay, dense cytoplasm, which means cytoplasm is high. Okay, and have thin cellulose wall. Okay, thin is made up of thin cellulose wall. Yes, and have prominent nuclei. Prominent nuclei. And lack of vacuoles. These are the features of meristematic tissue. So let's discuss what are the features once again. So meristematic tissues are active cells. Okay, active cells, very active cells. So they every time if it is needed, they multiply their cells. Okay, so large in size, comparatively large in size, and have dense cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is high amount is present in the case of meristematic tissue. Okay, cytoplasm is dense. And thin cellulose wall are present. We know plant cell have additional protective layer called cell wall, which is made up of cellulose. So the cellulosic cell wall is very thin because for the division. Okay, and the prominent nuclei is present. Prominent nuclei is present. And lack of vacuoles. We know the plant cells have which means 50 to 90% of the plant cell contain or present what vacuole. Very large vacuole are present in the case of plant cell. But in meristematic tissue, the vacuoles are absent. Why? What's the function of vacuole? Yes, vacuoles which helps to store the material in the form of cell sap. They store the material, needed material for the life. But here there is no any storage. This meristematic tissue for dividing or multiply their number actively. So there is no any vacuoles. So we can easily identify the meristematic tissue because of these features. Okay, hi dear students. Today we discuss about tissues, our new chapter. Yes, and we learn about what is the definition of tissues. Yes, and different characteristics of tissues. And today we give importance to plant tissues, and we learn meristematic tissue. According to the position, meristematic tissues are classified into three: apical meristem, intercalary meristem, and lateral meristem. And we learn what are the important function and position. Yes, and we learn the meristematic tissues characteristics or the features of meristematic tissue. Yes, so thank you.